Hello, Minecrafters and Redstoners. I'm Natanis Likens, and welcome back to our final portion of looking back at the Hermitcraft seasons and their maps. Only reason this is the final part is because Season 9 is ongoing as of right now, and it doesn't look like it's going to be stopping anytime soon, especially with Good Times with Scar announcing that he's got big projects that he's going to be working on as the season continues. So, yeah, here we are, and you might be as confused as I am. We're looking at nothing. This doesn't look like where the Hermits started. Because if I recall correctly, they were in a village with a little hole that Pearl and Jim were introduced in, and I definitely don't see a little village, so this has definitely got to be the spawn of the world, but it doesn't look like the spawn that they showed. And also, if you're wondering why we are in first person, apparently we're a ghost. Apparently we died just logging in, and the world's set to hardcore, so yeah, we're already dead, and we don't get to do anything with Season 8. uh, a little joke there. I hope you guys found that funny. But yeah, we're gonna go around and look at a little bit of stuff here. I think that's False Symmetry's base there, though. I thought she did purple and not red. That is clearly Jevons, and why? Why is it raining? Hang on, 1 second. Nope, 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 no, no. Weather, clear. Why? Why you gotta do that to me? So yeah, this is where we're starting, and I'm gonna have to figure out where things are. This does look like False Symmetry's base, but I could have sworn she did purple and not red, and this is very clearly red. But obviously, I'm remembering that wrong. Oh, that's a llama. Why is there a llama? I don't remember a llama getting built there. Okay, so that's definitely what Pearl did, because Pearl was messing with... Oh my gosh. There's a little bit more here than I thought there was. Yeah, there's False's eagle and the island up top. If you recall, that's how she escaped the calamity that befell Season 8. Yeah, and before we get on with the episode, that doesn't make any sense. Let me go around. We'll find a few things, and then I'll bring you guys back in, and we'll talk about some of the stuff in this season. This will hopefully be a little bit shorter than our previous seasons, and also I am running out of time this week to make a video for this following Monday. I've literally just got like 6 hours today to try and get this all put together. So yeah, it's going to be short, and we're going to go through it as fast as possible. So let me get on with that. Okay, because this is so close by, and oh my gosh, I didn't realize that that's over there too. We're going to take a look at Gemini Tay's base first. And the first thing that I really notice about Gemini Tay, other than, it was her first season, that was my first introduction to her, never heard of her before she joined Hermitcraft, and yeah. So the first thing I noticed just looking at this is her build palette is very simple. Her build palette is not as complex as I thought it would be, and that's kind of saying something, because I remember watching all of this and her building it, and it seemed like she was just another amazing builder. But actually looking at it, um, I don't want to make light of how I'm going to say this. She's probably about mid-tier builder. However, uh, let's not make light of this. Her shapes, like her build palette is mid-tier, but the shapes that she uses in order to create her buildings the shaping, she is just on another, she's on a whole nother level. Um, it is absolutely impressive to me because I was sitting here looking at this. I was like, you know what? The rain's back. Always with the rain. Luckily, we got that on speed dial. Uh, whatever. Anyway, let's just get on with this. So, yeah, her build palette is not all that impressive. It's the shapes that she has and incorporates into her build that is just absolutely mind-boggling to look at and know that this just came natural to her. And some of these shapes are very complex, and trying to fit them together and make it look good is actually, in my opinion, very difficult. But she makes shaping look so easy, and it's just mind-boggling to sit here and look at all this. Jim, again, is an amazing builder, and this whole base is just absolutely phenomenal. This is really cool. And over here, it looks like we're a lot closer to some of Doc and Rin's buildings than I thought we were. Maybe that, I don't think that's the full base. That looks like, okay, so that looks like that may be where the ship was when they started off their season. Oh no, this is the RV. This is how they supposedly got to season 8. So this is Rin and Doc's area. Oh, it's loading it now. Wow, these things are massive. So if you remember from season 8, this monstrosity of a build right here is a thing that caused a little bit of a ruckus on the server. This thing was extremely loud, and if it's still in here, there should be a blue axolotl there. We can see him swimming around, but it should be a blue one. Oh, we're in, what am I thinking? We're in spectator. We can just fly through. Yeah, so blue axolotl in there, and this is a crazy thunder device that they made that looks like they have made it to where it's not inoperable or not operating condition anymore. So this thing produced a lot of lightning and a massive amount of sound. Supposedly, I don't know how much of that was actually real. There's a couple of dirt blocks here for no reason. And you got some kind of inner room in here. They didn't really show a whole lot of this. Um, Seriously? Why would you power on? Well, that's a weird way to power something on. And it only powers up to the beacon. Yeah, this has a torch tower right here, so that's how that's working. Interesting. Not how I would have done it, but looking at it, I also think that that's probably the only way it could be done. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm not sure why certain things are the way they are there. There's probably a reason for it. It's not like I can see into Doc and Rin's brain, though I imagine Doc, either Doc made this or the hive mind made it. And I just realized this top area here is just all kinds of, oh my gosh, this is a mess. This is a big mess. So yeah, this really cool thing that they built, and they got even more over this way with their main base. I believe this is one of the bridge with one of the, I don't really know what to call these other than antivirus programs. And they made a bridge out of it and everything. And then you've got tunnels over there. And their whole season was pretty much this whole big story arc. And it's kind of where my story arc stems off of, with all of this and the whole idea that some kind of viral contagion got inside of the Hermatrix while the hermits were asleep, being transported between planets, and they got a holographic goat going on here. That's actually really cool. I don't remember seeing this, but that is really, that's ingenious right there. The whole using end rods to create a hologram kind of look. This is not their main base. Where is the main base? I thought it was really close to this guy. This giant, like, um, praying mantis that they built. But I guess that's just part of their whole storyline. Let's follow this. I don't know where this actually goes. And then somewhere near their base should be... Okay, no, this is one of the farms that they built. I don't remember which one this is. I think this... You know, it wasn't that long ago, but then again, I also didn't watch a whole lot of their season. I know that's where the majority of the story arc came from. And in fact, I think the whole story was basically just them trying something different for the season. I know Exuma did too, but his story didn't really cross over with theirs because they were doing this whole otherworldly thing with the Hermatrix and uh, the Hermetheus deep space ship. Oh yeah, here's our main base with the shopping area in it. And somewhere near this should be somewhere around here should be the Godam pole, and that should be very close to the Botum crew, which is somewhere I really want to go. And let's just fly on down here, because that looks like that's all snow. Oh no, it's not. It's powdered concrete to make it look like a white sand beach. That's kind of cool. That is really neat. Oh, here we are, because that's Impulse's base. I was going to cut away and maybe come back, bring you guys back in, but we just found this straight away. So this is Impulse's chocolate factory. I don't know which side of this we're on. Those towers, I feel like we're on the back side of it, which means that Bodum is straight in front of us. Or it's to our side? Yeah, see, there's the goat, and there's the Godum pole that Doc built in response to the Bodum pole, and that Grian and Scar dug all the way down to bury it. Yeah, that's that. Now we're over here to the Bodum area, and oh my gosh, this is already seeing this brings back so many memories. This was a fun season, especially with Scar and his whole steampunk styled thing that he was doing. And you know, just looking at this, um, is it just me or does it seem a lot bigger in his episodes? Because this is kind of small compared to what it felt like. This is very, very small. Now he's got a whole like train cart of all these different little builds that he's got. But honestly, like this, it feels small. This feels backwards. I don't know what about it. Just there's just something about this that it feels like this is backwards. I mean, I know this is he hid the dragon egg right there at one point during the game of tag. But for some reason, I'm just in my head right now. It feels like this whole build right here is backwards. I know it's not. It's just something that I'm feeling right now is just awkward about it. And the swaggin location, I don't even remember this one being built. I know during this time, much like the previous season, I was very busy working a whole lot. So it is it is highly possible that I did miss quite a bit going on throughout the seasons with different hermits and different things going on. What is this? Is this part of? Are you kidding me? Is this area part of Cubs? I don't remember him doing this. Like, I remember this, not that. Good grief, Cub fan. You are. You are insane, dude. Like, look at this. Like, I remember him making the whole canyon thing with dripstone and pointed dripstone, but I didn't remember some of the terrain around it. Like, that's all chorus blocks there. What is the... It looks like basalt for the trunks. And those are supposed to be like petrified trees there. Dude, this is absolutely insane. I didn't see. This is another thing. Like it in their episodes, it definitely did not seem like Cub Fan was that close to the rest of Bodom. And by Bodom, if you don't know who I'm talking about when I say Bodom, that was Good Times with Scar, Grian, Impulse, Pearlescent Moon, and Mumbo Jumbo. And in fact, their Bodom poll is still here. And this was something silly that they did at the beginning of the season. So they found this spot and they're like, here, we're going to christen it with this. And I think Grian put down like a crafting table to signify it was their area. And then somebody was like, hey, how about I put a boat on it? And then somebody's like, hey, how about I put a bed on that? And then they just started stacking some random things and putting boats on it and getting inside the boats. And it was just this very comical, organic moment of hilarity from the, oh, that's a sheep. The sheep head. From the members of the Bodom crew. Um, am I crazy? There was a house here. I'm pretty sure Impulse had a house right there. I may be missing something there. But yeah, you got Mumbo's van that he started off the season with right there. Then Grian and I think it was Grian and Pearl built the tree monster. I don't remember what the tree monster's name is. Teresa or something. And then you got Grian's base right here. You can see Grian's lovely face right there. And um, this, you'll have to forgive me here, like me stumbling, because this just, it's small. This is not nearly as big as I remember it being. Like this, his base just looks absolutely tiny when looking at it right here. Like this, throughout his season, watching Grian play and everything, this base just felt much bigger than it actually is right now. I'm not sure what's going on here. It did part of his base get destroyed by the moon falling? I don't know. And then you got whatever that sign is meant to say. I imagine that's something cryptic that was hidden throughout the season, along with all the stuff that Doc and Ren were doing as far as hiding cryptic messages. Um, Apparently, we got Tango Text shades right here. Another thing I really don't remember seeing throughout the season. And I don't see that connected to anything. We got Mumbo here. This should be... This is a stasis chamber, isn't it? No, it's not. And you got a... You got a zombie right there. This is not the stasis chamber. That's the stasis chamber. Okay, yeah, so this is something they were trying with the Bodum hole. So there was, I don't know if it's still here somewhere, a setup when you triggered the tripwire, and this looks like it's part of it here. I don't know what happened to the rest of it, but when you trip the tripwire, it would activate the stasis portal, and it would just basically it would interpearl you back to over here, so that you wouldn't die to the Bodum hole. It was something Mumbo was messing with. Here, let's get rid of the raining weather again. Grant you the secrets of the universe. Well, I don't really need to know the secrets of the universe. Who is this? I have no idea what's going on with that head right there. No idea. You got Mumbo as the potato boy because this was the season that Mumbo, quote unquote, couldn't kill anything, even though he did kill quite a bit. The only thing is on his statistics, it said that he didn't kill a whole lot. Um, yeah, that's his starter base. That's the starting area for the Bodum crew. Let's go on and look at some of their bases. Okay, first up, we're going to talk about Impulse. Impulse did this whole like Willy Wonka type thing in this season, and supposedly he took this building and copied it and went on over to a a different Minecraft world and used the create mod where you can actually have chocolate milk for his chocolate factory somewhere in here. Maybe we can quickly find it. You got big empty room over here. Nothing there. How about here? One of these should have... Okay, this is a storage room. One of these should have like a chocolate river and everything from Willy Wonka. I don't think he ever did much with it. Is it over here? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so this is supposed to be the candy room where everything in the room is made of candy and you could eat everything in it. And in fact, you got this whole chocolate river here. But supposedly, Impulse was taking this on to a different a different Minecraft mod pack, so that he could do certain things and have this really being an actual Willy Wonka factory. Um, I don't think he ever did anything with that promise. To my knowledge, he didn't. But I don't know. You know, he may have done some things. I don't think he actually did, though. If he did, leave it down in the comments, like correcting me on that. But yeah, this is his base, and it was really cool. Very interesting to see him come up with, and it's just like it's mind. It is absolutely amazing as far as a factory build. Like it is really cool. It's very empty on the inside. There's not a whole lot to it. And then over here we got the first really organic base by Mumbo Jumbo, and this is a whole like cliff face town that he built, and it's just you got to give Mumbo props. Like he went all out on this, like trying all sorts of different things. Um, Ignore the fact that 90% of this is just stone and a little bit of moss here and there, but he did go all out and try a whole bunch of different things with this particular base. And I feel like, based on what's going on with season 9, that this kind of broke him a little bit. Um, I don't know if he didn't enjoy it or if he did, because he did a video where he was talking about all of his different bases. And eh, Impulse, this isn't finished. Um, he just he just seemed like he had had enough, and that's probably why his season 9 has been basically non-existent, between him going on vacation and then taking a break, and then taking another break later on. There is a zombie in leather armor there. There should be a, yeah, here's his storage area inside of here. Oh, another thing we didn't look at that belongs to Mumbo. Let's see if we can quickly find this. I'm just gonna dive underground. We should be able to see it. Yeah, his potato farm. Because he could not. What is this? It's part of the bottom hole. Okay. Yeah, because he could not kill anything this season, he was eating a lot of potatoes, which is why he was Spud Boy. That's why there's a potato head of Mumbo. So he made this at the beginning of the season, and pretty much lived on potatoes the whole rest of the season. And then he went on and did that. Over here we've got Grian's base. Um, So Grian did a couple of things. First off, he built this train station area that really just feels small. I mean, actually being here puts a different perspective on things, because the whole episode, or his whole season, this train station that I was working on as a shop felt a lot bigger. Like just being here, these are relatively small. They're not as big as it felt like in the season. That's kind of surprising. Like I thought this would be a lot bigger than it actually is, and it's not even all that complete either. Just looking at it, but yeah, this is something he was working on. The main thing he was working on, and this is probably where a lot of their time went. Like I said, this feels small and everything, and some of their houses feel very small. But you got to remember that this whole terrain here wasn't here. Like this is custom built terrain. Like we can fly in here. Um, yeah, you can see that this is completely open in here. Like this whole back area, all of this is complete custom terrain. Like there was no actual mountain cliff back here. This is all open water back here. And Grian and Mumbo just built the whole area around it. So we can fly in here. You can see all the torch spam. I'm really surprised we're not struggling with the lag in here. You can see this entire area was not actually here. They built this entire mountain range by hand, and it even goes further than that. So when I say things feel small, know that they built very big things here. So yeah, It's not like I'm trying to say they didn't build a whole lot. No, they built a lot. It just if it's odd that it feels so small compared to what I know they did. And even in their episodes, the things felt like very big. As you can see, that this whole mountain here is hollow on the inside as well. And there appears to be so that's this is Pearlescent Moon's area right here. This is I don't really want to call it a castle, but this is something that she built. Um, I don't think there's a whole lot in here to see. But Pearl's another just next level builder. Like there's so many next level builders on Hermitcraft. It's not even funny. It's like they've got the biggest amount of talent within the Minecraft community all on one server. Um, and that is saying something. So there are some really good builders over on Empires, but Empires is trying to do like a whole different thing. In fact, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm surprised Empire Season 3 hasn't started. I'm surprised they haven't been talking about it on their videos. Like, with as much as Solidarity was talking about how big Empires is going to be, I'm surprised they haven't announced the Season 3 yet. But we're not here to talk about Empires. We're here to talk about Hermitcraft, and we've pretty much just in the last few minutes gone over everybody that I really wanted to talk about. No, we haven't. There's a few more bases we need to go and find. So because everybody's like right here, the Bodum crew, Doc, Rin, even Cub Fan. Again, I did not realize how close Cub Fan is. We're gonna have to go in search of a few bases. I want to go see B-Dub's base. I want to go see Corrales' base, Tango's base, and a few others, but I don't really know where their bases are. So we're gonna have to like explore like Iskal and Stress Monster. I'm not sure where they're at in relationship. I'm not even sure where the actual roads are that connect all these places up because I know B-Dubs had this whole thing this season where he wanted to build. Wow, that really is an eyesore. Oh my gosh, this is. I don't even want to talk about it. That's just the pun is so worth it. So yeah, let me get back to what I was doing and ooh, excuse me, go off and see if I can find a few more bases, and I'll bring you guys right back in. Welcome to Exumavoid's base. Now, I've got to completely redo everything because we had another system malfunction. Basically, the recording didn't work. So, yeah, we got to redo this whole section. Anyway, what I can remember about what I said about Exuma's base is that Exuma always had a kind of a modern sci-fi uh, aesthetic to his builds, and this one is a little bit different. This is kind of a, a, a little bit of a cottage core, like medieval style that he went for, and then he's got just a flat out evil style over on this side. Now, it's not evil like Tango evil, but evil in the fact that the darker tones that he used for this section of his base just gives this evil vibe to it. And all in all, I'd love to see Exuma do more of this style. And again, we're getting into things where I feel like Exuma did a lot more in the videos than what is actually present here. I feel like the Soul Sand and Soul Soil was all over the place, but as you can see, it's only in a very small section of this portion of his base. And in the videos, this feels like a lot more of it is covered. Well, clearly, it's not as much as you would think, so that's kind of interesting to me. Now, he did have a whole storyline that he was doing involving Evil X, where he was doing kind of a Bitcoin kind of thing, trying to make diamonds off of the hermits by making them buy Bitcoin so that they could shop at his shops. And it was just kind of this whole mess. Exuma even said that he actually did not like doing any of this season because he doesn't like doing stories. Um, yeah, uh, it's kind of odd because of what transpired. Uh, about 6 months into season 9, I would say probably about 6 to 8 months into season 9. Um, with the whole story of the portal and everything. So it's really odd that Exuma would be like, "Yeah, I didn't like doing the story," and then tries to do another story, which we're not going to really get into that. I mean, obviously, if you can't tell from my tone, I was very disappointed in the story that they were trying to do with the Rift in season 9. Uh, I feel like they just kind of wasted the potential for what that could have been, especially with the crossover with the Empire's folks. It felt like a lot of wasted potential on the Hermitcraft side. Um, Here we go with the weather again. It's just constantly raining on their worlds for some reason. I don't know what that is over there. But yeah, just continuing on, you got a little bit more of Exuma's base. You got kind of his greenhouse over here that we watched him build, and his flower farm right there, and then a few other little things here and there for, his collecting. Now, originally, he had a much different idea where he was going to build a giant statue right in this area. I believe it was like right in here. He wanted to build a giant statue, but he just wasn't feeling it. He felt like the amount of resources and the time it would take would not work for what they were planning as a whole to do for season 8. So, yeah, he ended up not doing it. Um, really cool base. I really love what he made here, and I really wish that Exuma would go back to experimenting more with this style because I think it suits him a little bit better. And it's very interesting to see when a hermit does something different. Um, in some occasions, other occasions, I'd rather see the hermit do stuff that they're known for, such as Tango. I'd rather continue to see him do his evil style building, like he has with the the Frost Citadel. Love to see him continue doing that. I wasn't a big fan of the whole Toon Towers in season 7, but yeah, it is what it is. The hermits try and do things, so not saying that they should do what we say as fans. Let them be them. I just some of them, as a fan, I'd rather see them do things that they're known for and expand upon that. Anyway, moving on, we got over here. I don't know how much of this is actually um, B dubs. I think just this section is B dubs. This, yes, this is Iscal's base here, and oh my gosh, that is a big troll inside this unfinished cavern. Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more of this to be done, but Iscal really didn't finish much of this, did he? Yeah, so that's all I gotta say about that. And over here we got Corrales with his house build. I mean, it's a modern house that he built, and then we've got the ISIS space station up above us, the International Space Station, and that is actually how Corrales escaped the moon crashing into the Hermitcraft season 8 map. Technically, even though it wasn't the. There's just so many different things that went on with the season 8 map. You got Rendog and Doc saying that all of this was simulated. They're all inside of a computer program, like a matrix kind of thing called the Hermatrix. And then you've got a few hermits, Good Times with Scar and False Symmetry, who canonically escaped this simulated world in the same manner that they arrived to season 9, which kind of implies that season 9 is also simulated. Though, yeah, let's just say that the Hermits and their continuity just really doesn't work out that well. It's just better to enjoy it at how it is. It's one thing I've kind of learned because it's just all over the place. And dude, I Jevin kind of got on to me on his Discord, which is part of the reason why I left. I didn't want to cause any more problems than I already had on his Discord. So I Jevin, if you see this, yeah, I left because I was causing problems and I didn't want to cause any more problems. So moving on, we got Tango Tech's house right here. This is really cool. Very different style for Tango Tech. Again, with the whole like cottage core thing, I think Gemini Tay was kind of rubbing off on them a little bit because I noticed there's a lot of like cottage core to medieval to like uh steampunk stuff going on in this season, where you got Good Times with Scar doing stuff that is clearly steampunk. It is arguable that B Dub's little moon base here is also steampunk, and then you got this little base here that is a little bit like a cross between like a medieval town and a steampunk stylized town, which you can even see. You know, you got some tubing here. I think that's because of the addition of the copper blocks and the wax. Then moving on over here, um, oh yeah, the seaside town that again just feels oh with the rain. Go away. It feels way smaller than it actually appeared to be in the season, judging by that piece up there. I'm guessing this is Ethos area. Um, yeah, it just feels small. It's like all of season 8 just feels very, very small, which is just weird to say because they did build some really big things in this season, but it just overall feels small. And this was also B Dubs, because B Dubs was breeding up llamas to have the maximum storage capacity for llamas. I'm a little bit surprised as to how few llamas are actually here. I figured there'd be a lot more llamas. Anyway, let's continue on down the road because we still haven't found Stress Monster. Okay, that was... I don't know whose that is. The rocket area, you got a shulker box of slime there. I think that was Jevin. And a very unfinished base here. I have no idea who this was. This is really cool looking though. It's a shame it didn't get finished. I'm not entirely sure whose this was. Giant portal over there. I believe this is back over to False Symmetry's area. Yeah, this is False over here. False and Jim. I assume this is Stress, but I thought Stress was also in the swamp. I could have sworn Stress was in the swamp as well. She should be over here somewhere. There's a whole thing down here. Hello, False. You got a redstone store here? I don't... I don't recall that being made, but you know, as we've been saying in the last few episodes, a lot of this is going to be lost to memory or lost to time because I didn't have a whole lot of time during during that period. Um, I could have sworn Fall Stress Monster was over here somewhere, but it really appears like I cannot find Stress Monster. Oh, here's Iskal. This was Iskal and yeah, this was Iskal and Etho. Whose base was the giant troll? Because they had the whole savanna biome up in the sky and they were sharing a base. Like Etho was doing one half of it and Iskal was doing the other half of it. Because Iskal's hiding spot for the tag was this building. Because he had a whole little mini game where the egg kept falling down. Yeah, because here's where the tag was. It was sitting there and would just keep falling down. You had to play this little mini game of uh, figuring out what the puzzle is in order to get the egg to drop to the next level until you finally got to the bottom. Yeah, so this was this was Iskal and Etho. So the giant troll, I I could have sworn that the giant troll was Iskal. Oh yeah, because you also had the Sky High Club or something, or the Walking Club, where you had to walk so much instead of using Elytra because a few of them were actually getting bored of using Elytra. And here we go with the rain again. I don't know what's up with the weather here on this map. Okay, so that's false back there. That's one of who was it? Corrales, Tango, and B Dubs, the Big Eye crew. Yeah, the Big Eye crew. That's one of their like passing gas stations. So that you could heal up your horses, get some experience, and then they'd have like a little enchanting shop inside of it as well. I'm just following the road here. I'm still a little bit disoriented because I don't like. I should remember where Stress Monster is at. I could have sworn she was much closer to the others, unless that was her unfinished castle. But I don't think it was. I have no idea what this is. Yeah, no idea what that is. Okay, we're getting kind of back to where we were originally. This is one of the things that Rin Doc made. Looks like some kind of shulker farm. Oh yeah, this was Cleo with the whole sports bottles, candles as sports bottles, and she was making a gym. And she had this whole '80s gym thing going on. It was really odd. Here's her graveyard. So that's where Cleo was at. And this I don't remember. I honestly could not tell you who this space belonged to. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen this space before before now. So let's just kind of go on through here and see if we can figure out whose this is. I'm sure you'll leave it down in the comments on whose base this is. But as far as my own memory of the time frame and watching Hermitcraft, I have no idea. And there's a very good chance that this is possibly one of the few hermits that I don't watch on a regular basis. What happened to Scar's head there? It looks like he got smashed or something. That's really weird looking. If you know, you know. Aha! There's Stress's mushroom. And I was looking all over for this. I could have sworn she was much closer to uh, False and Gemini Tay. Well, she is not. That is, boy, that is misleading. They did a fantastic job of misleading us on that. Wow. Well, I don't even know where False and Gemini Tay's base is in relationship to hers. That is incredible because they definitely made it seem like she was very close to them and she's nowhere near them. You know, I want to say this is like XB's base or somebody's. Because I seem to remember he was planning on making this all wheat fields around here. That is incredible. Like, the most random spot ever, we find Stress Monster's mushroom. That's incredible. I thought she was much closer to them. Just looking around here, it's kind of hilarious to me as to how much they did and did not build this season because there are some very big projects that were made, but as you go to look around here, you realize that there's a lot of just nothing here. I believe this was Vintage Beefs. This was either Beefs or this was XB's. I don't, because the one thing I remember was the episode of somebody coming here to shop, and I think it was XB tricked them into spending more diamonds than they should have. I barely remember that. That's a really cool. What in the world is this? Is this another one of Doc and Ren's things? Doc and Ren built a lot in this season. Like, of all the people that built, Doc and Ren built a heck of a lot. No, actually, I think this is the biodomes for. Oh, it was either XB or it was Vintage Beef. I don't remember. Excuse me? What? Well, something clearly has not worked properly here. I got a feeling that's supposed to be like a mechanical loader, like from Aliens. Yeah, a sandworm here that is literally eviscerating somebody right there. Oh, this is pretty dark for a Hermitcraft base. Wow. Oh, that is brilliant using the vines as entrails. That is brilliant. Well, this little fish guy's trying to get out of there. And we got another floating block right here. Interesting. I don't know what that little redstone contraption is. So that's on. This is supposed to be like a timer, except for this guy. I can't interact with it. And that's got bone meal. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Because this is supposed to detect. So this would like detect anything growing, like grass or plant, flowers or something. And when it detects it, it's going to send a signal over here, which is going to activate that piston, which is going to, well, it's going to do what it's doing right now because it's already activated, but it's going to bring that observer back underneath when it is deactivated, which is going to start causing that dispenser to dispense bone meal on whatever's here. Just looking at this little circuit, though, the circuit doesn't look right. There's something missing. Not gonna worry about it. I'm guessing that's some kind of tree farm because of that block there. But I feel like there is some redstone missing there, like something's not correct. Yeah, this may actually be XB's base, and then that one. Oh, and it's raining again. And then the other one may actually be Vintage Beef's. I know one of them owns this. Um, I think the horse heads might actually be Joe. So there's also a good chance that this is Joe Hill's place. In fact, I think this is Joe Hill's. Oh, what is this? Like, what kind of house is this? Wow, that is pretty bad. No offense, man. I mean, it's just personal opinion. I do think it looks terrible. That is just my opinion, though. Yeah, let's get rid of the rain again. And we'll have to go off and see what else we can find because I feel like we're missing a whole lot. And that is so weird to me. That stresses mushroom is way over here. It's so far away from where I thought it would be. That is so weird to me. I still would love to know whose that is. I have to go back and look, figure out whose base that actually is there. Because I don't think this is Wells Night. Wells Night, ever since the cathedral prank from Cub and Scar, Wells Night has had a slow progress of not being on the Hermitcraft server. He comes in, he tries to play, and then he just kind of stops. Um, I honestly am really surprised that he is still associated with Hermitcraft. I think at some point, Wells Knight is probably going to end his time of playing with the Hermits, which is kind of sad to me because he's such a good builder and such a great personality. Um, I just feel like Hermitcraft's going to be missing a lot without Wells Knight. And unfortunately, there's no base for us to go off and find here for him. He just didn't do a whole lot this season. And then when he did come back to get back to the grind, they were getting ready to end the season. So his whole plan for his base and what he was going to build in this season just kind of evaporated. Um, Same kind of deal with season 9. Like he come in with a good grasp of what he wanted to do. He was fresh. He was ready to tackle it, and made like 3 episodes and then just vanished. He did come back a few months ago for the Hermitcraft TCG that Vintage Beef had been making. And that was about it. He said he was going to make a chateau on this one particular hill near where Doc had originally uh, based up at. Oh, here's um, the Flying Club, which is so funny that you got the Flying Club is a base on the ground, and the Walking Ground Club is a base up in the air. So backwards. I want to say Grian had something to do with this, and maybe Tango. Yeah, and this is like the specialty goggles you could get for it. They must have some kind of trickery that they do in their videos because this looks very different seeing it in person. Very, very different. And somebody put a lot of work in Blockbench to make those. It was really cool seeing this. You know what? Maybe it was maybe it was Wells Knight and Doc M who made this. Because Wells Knight, I think, had something going on near here. He didn't make a full on base this season, but I think he had something to do with that. I think maybe he planned it or something, and then once they finished it, he just stopped playing on the server. I don't know. There's too many hermits to try and keep track of who's doing what, who's not doing anything, and who's making certain things. Oh, this is the egg at spawn. This is what Joe Hills made. The spawn egg, as it were. Um, there is a nether portal here. I'm going to jump into the nether and see what we can find there. Um, how is that possible? And that's raining again. Yeah, let me get into the nether and I'll bring you guys right back in, and then we'll probably end the episode there because I am running out of time today to finish up making an episode for Monday, and there's also not a whole lot to talk about in this season. So yeah, let me get on with it. All right. I am completely wrong about Wells Knight. I forgot about this. So this was the start of Wells Knight's base. He did not finish it. He did not build everything that he wanted to do with it. The whole concept was going to be a floating, like castle build in the air. He wanted it on like his own floating islands and everything. And I think he was also going to like tear out a good chunk of the world here. And he's also another one that had an escape plan for the season. He escaped in this little shuttle here, or I think he tried to, and then he realized that he didn't have fuel for it, so he did something else. And that was about it from Wells Knight. That's about all he did. He never really got on with what he was planning for this base. And I did actually have to take myself out of. Oh, this was the prank on him. That was a Cub fan prank on him because Cub fan went around and pranked a whole bunch of different people. Um, just doing small pranks, nothing major. But yeah, this was Cub fan's idea, and that looks pretty sus right there. Yeah, he had this whole thing that he was planning on doing with a floating island and a castle on top of it. And uh, hang on, I am so confused. I don't know what this is. Did he do this to? Because it looks like this is a slime spawning area. Looks kind of similar to what Impulse is going on in season 9 as far as the slime farm. Although his is actually complete. So yeah, completely wrong. Wells Knight did do quite a bit actually. I've completely forgotten about this because he wasn't really there that much for this season. But judging by this thing, uh, it seems like he was there for a lot longer. I'm pretty sure it's also hollow on the inside. I don't think we can get inside here. So let's just go back to spectator and just, yeah, it's completely hollow. With no actual way of getting inside here. So he's got all this space in here that he didn't do anything with. That's still an amazing structure to do. And this is actually quite a bit bigger than what I remember it being. Like, this thing's huge. Like, me just looking at it and floating through it doesn't really do it justice. This thing is absolutely enormous. I will say this much, though. He's got a huge platform here for spawning mobs on. So if you do come over to the season 8 world, be prepared for that. So yeah, there's that. Let me get back into the nether and continue on. It does look like that they had a nether tunnel system set up, and that's literally all it looks like is just one giant nether tunnel and nothing else. So let me get back to it, see if we can find a few other things. Uh, I feel like I'm going a little bit batty here. Apparently, this is Stress Monster's base, which is right beside False's, which is very close to the Jim. Jim, where you at, Jim? Jim, Jim. I've already lost track of where Jim's base is. Oh, it's over here. Okay, so it's on the other side. Apparently that is Stress Monsters, which really confuses me because I could have sworn she had the mushroom. If her base isn't the mushroom, then whose base is the mushroom? Oh, no, no, no. Here, this is Stress's. Yeah, that's right. Stress had the ravine. And she was planning on building like this little factory section over here. Yeah, that's right. This is Stress Monster's base. That's why I couldn't find it, because it's hidden. Um, I don't know what this is. Yeah, no idea what this is. So, who built the mushroom? Was that ZF? I don't think ZF had the mushroom base. I don't even remember where the mushroom base is in relationship to everything else that we're looking at. Um, there's a circus tent there. Oh, this is cool. We found this. This is just a random build that was made. I don't remember who made it. And then that's Exuma Void over there. This I feel like it was Jim. No, it was Pearl. It was Pearlescent Moon and Good Times with Scar. They were trying to get. It was Good Times with Scar, Pearl, and I think Grian, because they were trying to get clocks out of BOO. So they kept like tricking him to give them his clocks. There's a pair of creepers down there, and over there, which I think that was Grian trying to collect creepers. I don't remember what for. I don't know what this is. The circus tent. But we got more things to look at, and I've got to get going. And this episode is probably shaping up to be very long. Zombie bumper boat. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, let me get on with it and see what else I can find. Um, I still don't know what that is. That is really, really interesting to me. That real, I didn't remember right away that Stress was in that ravine. Some of this is just blurring together, but yeah, let me get on with it and see what else we can find. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. This is the season of ZF, the science guy. Science rules. So he's got a maze down there. I don't know what the maze is for. And that's a ZF science head thing. And his base is clicking and there's all sorts of noises. Oh my gosh. I don't know what that's all for. Okay, that's super annoying. We found it. This is his wool wall because he wanted to do an experiment to see just how much wool would be collected by which sheep, how fast. He wanted to see which sheep produced the most wool, and I think it turned out to be red or gray produce the most wool. This is really cool to see. I don't think he's near anybody, so we're not going to be flying off and talking randomly about seeing other people's bases. So I've got to go and find some others. Um, a prank from Jim and Pearl. I have no idea what this prank is supposed to be. I guess it's some kind of zombie. I'm also looking for somewhere in his base, he made a clock. Yeah, so every single hour that his base is loaded up, it would produce one of these blocks. I don't know what the block is. So he wanted to see just in terms of the actual base, like how many hours by the end of the season has this base actually been, loaded up. Um, so it really required him to be inside of his own base the entire time. This was his zombie converting because he was converting for village trading, which is something ZF had never done before. He'd never been the one to set up villager trading before. I don't know what the target block is for. Somewhere he's got a chicken farm, animal farm there. A bunch of redstone. That looks like a traditional item filter setup. Only it's the bigger one. It's not the small one. So if we... that's not correct. Am I crazy? I think I'm crazy. I don't think that's set up correctly. But anyway, yeah, that's like a sorting system back there. I gotta get going, start looking around for more stuff. Oh, look, all the cauldrons to get powdered snow. Yeah, that's right. Cub also had a giant, ooh, excuse me, a giant area for cauldrons that he put together this season. Because him and Zedaf were trying to collect as much powdered snow as possible. I don't remember what Cub did with it. Because he had that whole, and I may be mixing that up with Season 9. Yeah, this is really interesting to come up here and look at. Like, I don't know how he got from one spot to another. Like, there's his bed. How do you even get up there? Oh, so you literally have to fly up here. Interesting. I thought most of those blocks couldn't be pushed or pulled with pistons. Apparently they can. Yeah, let me get out of here and go find something else for us to look around at. I don't have much to say about his base. You just... ZF, you gotta go watch his series for this season because he was doing a lot of crazy experiments with redstone. And it looks like... It looks like some of his redstone broke. I don't know what's going on here. This is weird. Oh, there's a dispenser there. And so that must be part of the wool collecting system. So interesting. I don't know why that didn't work properly. Yeah, let me get out of here, see what else we can find. And here we are at Cub Fan Snow Bowl. So this is in Season 8. This is something Cub threw together. He was trying to collect as much powdered snow as possible for some purpose. I really don't remember what the purpose was of it. But yeah, he went around collecting iron from everybody in order to put together like this whole huge area of cauldrons in order to collect snow in them in order to get powdered snow. And this was kind of just something he decided to do. Again, I don't really remember why he did it. I don't know why he wanted all the powdered snow. Um, but yeah, this is something that he did throw together, and then he put a whole bunch of the uh, shards down on the ground so that nothing would actually spawn on them, and you still get the run benefit of being on ice. And then you got the AFK's zone right in here, and then you have a snow collector over here. I it's something that he threw together. I don't remember there being all this blue fire everywhere. I'm not really sure why there's blue fire everywhere, but yeah, there is. And yeah, okay, so this was a TNT duping machine, so it would blow up the snow, and that's how it collected it. I thought it like scraped all the snow. And you can see that there's snow golems in here. They'll create a whole line of snow just going across it. I'm not sure how you turn this thing on. I feel like there's like an AFK spot somewhere that you have to stand on a pressure plate or something. Is it this? Yep, there you go. And that's how that works. And TNT explodes all the snow. That's really cool. Oh, it still sent another one down there. So yeah, that's a snowball collector, so you can make packed snow or something instead of powdered snow. And I feel like, we've rambled a little bit too much. We didn't really talk about a whole lot in my experience. We just kind of rambled about bases and my thoughts on them. So, yeah, I feel like that's where we're going to leave off at. And if anybody knows whose mushroom that is, I would love to know because I feel like we've gotten a few things wrong. I think the giant ogre or troll underneath the mountain, I think that's actually Tango Tex. I think that was his big build of the season, not Iskal. I think Iskal's. We looked at it. I looked at it. I don't remember what Iskal did. My brain is just not wanting to work because he did something different. But yeah, I think the troll was Tango Tex. I'm still not really sure who did the mushroom. So yeah, leave it down the comments if you remember whose base is what. Obviously, I could just go right now and look it up and continue on with the episode, but I feel like we've already done enough for this episode. I've rambled on too much, and I'm running out of time to actually get the episode put together and get it uploaded to YouTube in order for there to be a video for next Monday. So until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day and think about subscribing if you really like what I'm doing here with my content on YouTube. And I will see you later. And we are just completely screwing up our outro. You know what? Forget it. Let's get out of here and get this episode put together. Bye, guys.